Hey guys, it's Bruce from You Buy a Drone. Just going to show you real quick how to make a hole for the molded doors. What I do is I just use a soldering iron. If your doors came with the modules, then you won't. You'll have to take them out to do it, and then if you bought them separate, then you don't need to worry about that. So the two spots you're going to have to do is this little indentation here, and then obviously where it's cut out right here. Now, what I like to use is the soldering iron. I have an adjustable one. This is up to 700. It's up at 700 degrees right now. And then all you have to do basically is take the solder and go around the edges. It's going to melt it away. What'll happen is once you do this, though, it'll get kind of like oozy, I guess you could say. And then while it's still a little warm, you can just pull it off with your fingers, or you can pull it off with like tweezers or something like that, and it should come off. If it doesn't, then you just need to grab it again with the soldering iron. But that's the easiest way. You can also use a knife. You can just use a razor blade, razor knife, or an X-Acto. Heat up the blade with a lighter or something like that. But I mean, this is all you really have to do, though. Just make a hole and then pull it out with your fingers. But it's not too messy. So if you are making a mess, I'm not sure why. Just go a little bit slower, maybe, or faster, so it doesn't heat it up. So there you see you got a hole there now. And you can make it look nicer by spending a little bit more time by just kind of shaping the area. And then on this one, again, it's just this little, let me get the focus here, see if I can get it. So you can see how it's indented there. So pretty much it's the same thing. You can just stick the tip of your soldering iron in there and just move it across. And then it'll kind of give some like area that looks kind of oozed out. And then you can just, like I said, while it's still, well, that's a little too warm. So, but once it's, I guess wait till it cools for a couple seconds longer, then you don't burn yourself like I just did. But you can just pull that plastic off, or you can just clip it off with clippers and then shape it out. And these little clippers that I have are just flush cut clippers you can get on Amazon for a couple bucks. Harbor Freight sells them for a couple bucks. And so once you have a hole, then all you'll need to do is, for your diversity side, is stick it through. That'll fit. And then you'll need to get some tweezers, pull it through. Now my diversity, I put a piece of duct tape. You could use a piece of electrical tape, but you really do want to shield this area here from touching any capacitors inside here when you go to put this in. There's a chance that it could slip and you could pop one of those capacitors. The other thing while you're doing it is, if you see, I've got a piece of foam stuffed in here, and I don't know if it'll focus on it, it's a little dark. But anyways, I took a piece of the foam that comes with the box, that your modules came in, and I just shove it in here, and that takes care of any light leak that you might experience. It's a pretty simple fix. So that's pretty much all you have to do with the foam, and then that'll block the light if you have any light leaks. So from there you can just stick the diversity module in. Pretty simple. And then you'll pull this out, kind of pull this back out while you're sliding everything back together, and then that'll just fit in its place. Then when you put this in, what you're going to want to do, actually you want to do this part second. Where did I put that? There it is. This side here, okay, so some of you got doors that came a little bit later than the others, and there's this cutout right here. This is the fix for people that were having problems with the diversity cable not fitting in their things. So some of you might have a block of plastic still in this area, and then what you're going to want to do is just, you'd really only need to take about a soldering iron width away from that, and all it does is allow this little hanging over part right here to fit. Now what you're going to want to do is obviously put this in first, and then you're going to want to put the module in the door. Easiest way to do the door is to stick the buttons in first, and then you risk less breaking a button by doing it this way. So you'll want to slide that in there, and then it's a rubbery material, and then you can just pull it over, and then you'll notice it just kind of clips in there, and then that's how you'll get that in. Now you push this in, make sure it's lined up with the proper pins, and then that'll slide in pretty easily, so it'll sit pretty flat and flush. Now the one thing is if you leave it like this, you'll notice you have a lot of slack. So what I like to do is I like to twist this, and the more you twist this, obviously it's going to take up that slack. So you can see there now there's hardly any slack there. And then you're going to want to put in these back sides first, and then you just snap in the front, and then just kind of massage it into place. And there you go, that fits. And then you have less slack because I twisted it up. And if you want a little bit more, you can twist it up a little bit more. And then that's all you'll need to do to get the modules. That's fast boot, so you can see how fast that was booting up. See? So anyways, that's all you'll need to do. If you have any questions, hit us up on the Facebook group and we'll see how we can help you out.